Previously, on Runway DFW. Live from Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport in Texas, this is Runway DFW, in color. Now, here is your host, Walt Zwerko.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Runway DFW for this. Let's see. I've always got to look up the. There we go. It's Friday, April 15th, 2022. Normally, this is going to be the. This is going to be the tax day in the USA, where we all have to pay our taxes. But because this happens to be fall on a Good Friday, we've got until Monday. So let's have a celebration here, as we don't have to pay our taxes until Monday. So welcome, everybody. We have, let's see. Unlock things here. Just before we came in, of course, we got not one, but two queens of the sky coming in. I think they're both from Louisville, and they're both now parked at right angles to one another at the UPS cargo hub right over there. I haven't had a chance to look at what we've got coming in or going out this morning, so it's all going to be a big surprise. So hello to everyone who's checking in. Thanks for being here early with us. We're starting a little bit early today because the sun is rising earlier, so it gives us a little more daylight before we've got to pack it all up and go to our real job. So it looks like the first aircraft we have coming in this morning is a CRJ 701 ER from San Angelo, Texas. It's going to be American Eagle Flight 3056, and that will be our first arrival on this Friday edition of Runway DFW. We haven't had two weekday editions in a while, so it's nice to be with you for a second time during the week. I know it's a little early for anybody on the west coast of the US, but it's just before lunchtime over at the UK, so wherever you may be, we welcome you to our little hullabaloo. Thanks for hanging out with us. Weather conditions, it's in the low 60s right now here. We've got a bit of a wind. I've got my tripod staked down. So, a smooth landing to start our morning. Otherwise a bit quiet. I'm hoping we'll see some cargo action. Normally we do on a Friday morning. That always gives us a bit of variety. Here are the two 747s. You can see the one closest to us. It's getting cargo loaded into it, it appears. So perhaps, if maybe we'll see one of these go up. The other one, it's got a special decal for Expo 2020 in Dubai, which I believe just ended. They delayed it, and it continued through this year. And now it's over, I believe, if I remember reading that correctly.
If I could get a green
And let's see let's check the UPS aircraft count over there this morning. We had another one come in just before we went on the air. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we've got an MD-11 tri-jet way over yonder. Always like to see those go up and out, so maybe we'll be lucky this morning. There's the monument for Founders Plaza, which is where we are here. I don't know if we can read the sign from this angle. DFW Founders Plaza. Actually, this is the second location of Founders Plaza. The other one was on the other side of the airport, and I've talked to some people who were here when it was active, and they say it was a little better spot for viewing, in that you were a little closer to the action. But we'll take what we can get, and we thank DFW for providing us with this facility so that we can bring you exciting airport coverage. It's time for a little breakfast, so get your cup of coffee, get yourself a bagel, get yourself a worm. We've got a lineup of jet aircraft now on approach. First one's going to be American Airlines Flight 3847. Actually, check that. That's going to be American Eagle Flight 3847 from Tallahassee in Florida after an hour and 52-minute flight. It'll be an Embraer 175. Then coming in after that will be American Airlines Flight 2862 from Wichita, Kansas. That'll be an A319. And then following that, looks like we've got another American Eagle flight from Fort Smith, Arkansas. And you can see the parade of aircraft now on approach. There's 4 of them right there. The one behind Fort Smith will be American Flight 2266 from San Antonio, an A321. So let's follow along with our first contestant. And that's just on one side of the airport. We've got 2 This is, as of last month, this was the second busiest airport in the U.S., only behind Atlanta. And so we're only looking essentially at the traffic from the coming in on the west side of DFW. I do see one outgoing plane lining up right now. No, it's going over to the other side. So nothing is going out. We're not missing anything taking off from the west side of the airport at the current time. And there, we'll give you a glimpse of the sunrise over Dallas-Fort Worth here in North Texas. Before we switch over to the Wichita camera, or Wichita plane coming in. I see a report on the chat room of some lagging this morning in our signal. I checked it before we started and it looked like it was quite adequate for our stream this morning, but I'll keep an eye on it. That's the flight from Wichita. And I do see on the return feed some lag. We're gonna persevere here. I'm showing a good signal at this end, so I don't know, it's just we're at the mercy of the interwebs here. So bear with us. It's generally a transient thing when we have an internet problem. Our next arrival is going to be from Fort Smith, Arkansas. American Eagle Flight 4235. Be another Embraer 175. We see a lot of those around here. American Eagle flies them. We see United Express coming in here with that aircraft. And I am seeing the lagging. Let me check my signal again. Let me give you a nice steady shot here. I'll show you the sun. As the director said in The Truman Show, that's one of my favorite movie lines ever. I think Truman, played by Jim Carrey, was trying to escape, and so the director said, "Cue the sun."
Envoy 4063, just travel 14010 and 177 for the... Envoy 4023, just travel 171 Negative 524, RNAV, layer underneath 1, that's 7 right, to pick up.
Hang in there with us, everybody. We're experiencing some technical difficulties. Well, oh, there we go. Well, we can give you a nice still picture there. We're still playing around with our connection here. But I can assure you that we did check this out today. Before we started, I checked the connection and it seemed to be going okay. Let me move our hotspot around a little bit. So, okay, we're going to persevere. We're going to keep going. We're going to keep yakking. We're going to keep trying to make this work. Thank you for bearing with us. Good morning to all of you. It's 7:06 local time. You're watching Runway DFW as we struggle with the bits and the bytes. But at least we got a nice sunrise. We'll try this now. It's American Eagle Flight 3706 from Stillwater, Oklahoma. After a short 42-minute flight, it'll be an ERJ 145 LR. And we'll try to make this happen for you on Runway DFW. Okay, we're doing our best. And now the camera won't focus. All right, my friends. How about a little plane? Maybe that'll bring us some luck. It's a Cessna 208 from Martin Air. This is going to Tyler, Texas. Tyler in East Texas. I'm pretty sure it's going to be less than an hour flight, even for a slower propeller-driven aircraft. Coming in from Lawton, Oklahoma, American Eagle Flight 6292, a CRJ 700. Obviously a cargo aircraft there. And speaking to everyone who's watching right now, or trying to watch, we still seem to be having some difficulties with our internet signal. So if you see some lagging or stuttering in our pictures, it's kind of out of our control at this point. All I can do is plow through and hope to continue to bring you a broadcast. This American Eagle Flight 5764 is coming in from Amarillo, which is also in Texas. And we do get a lot of regional flights early, because one of the purposes of those regional flights is to connect to the big American Airlines hub here in Dallas, Fort Worth, so that passengers can take advantage of the array of aviation opportunities here at the big airport. The old hub and spoke. Well, did I not see a Japan Airlines tail in the background there for a second? I think I did. Here comes American Eagle Flight 3647 from Abilene in Texas. Texas is a big state. We've got a lot of cities, a lot of airports. So let us take advantage of the nice color of the sun rising here on the twin quad jets. September Helton is here. Good morning from beautiful East Tennessee. That does sound like a beautiful place to hang out. Glad to have you aboard here. And Cheryl O, we do acknowledge that we've had some transmission issues this morning, and so hang in there with us. There you see the parade of cargo being loaded into one of those 747s. Oh, we see the cargo door and the other one open as well, on the left one, and that's the west tower of DFW. There in the background. Saying hello to Hootie St. Cat Sir. I apologize for mispronouncing that. And Luke is here with us. Luke Molds, watching live from New Zealand. Almost Saturday morning there. Welcome to you.
472 heavy traffic, 3.5 miles final crossing 17 center, hold short 17. 11 minutes, still about 3 miles final.
We welcome Edward Rose from Newcastle, Australia. Is it Newcastle or Newcastle? I don't know. I tend to overpronounce things like that. So welcome to all. We're glad to have you with us. Chris with his camera. It is a beautiful sunrise here. We do have a few you can see some clouds in the background there. And I think there's some chance of rain later in the day, but I think we should be clear of that here this morning. And Ken G just checked in. I've stepped away from my computer, but there's still a lot of lagging. I don't know that there's anything I can do about it, because we're on one connection. Let me check. Now we've got 3 bars out of 5. Not the best, but it should be satisfactory. So, again, really all we can do is persevere and try to bring you a show, and we'll... my hat get in the way there? Sorry about that. So yes, if you see lagging, it's not your fault. It is at our end, I think. So we're going to try, keep going. We've got a couple flights going out now. We've got a Delta flight to Minneapolis-St. Paul, flight 1662. That'll be an A319. And right behind it, or somewhere behind it, we'll have a Spirit jet going out to Las Vegas and a United plane going to San Francisco. So some non-American Airlines action for you on Runway DFW. And I'm seeing lagging as well. Maybe you should just turn the pictures off and turn this into a podcast. Okay, next up is Spirit Airlines flight 2954 to, where did I say that was going? Las Vegas. Kenji is saying great still pictures, yeah. Maybe I should get a fax machine. I can just fax this broadcast to you. Here's United Airbus A319, flight 2669, headed to San Francisco. As we get an American flight coming in from Omaha, Nebraska. My internet friends, my goal is to provide you with a nice, smooth, clear picture this morning. So far, we are not doing too well. But we'll keep going. You can see the cloud bank that the sun is just about getting ready to go behind. Mrs. Runway DFW is suggesting I send out a lower quality signal. I don't know how much lower quality it can be this morning. But no, I've downgraded our transmission to as low as I can make it. We've got a race going on over here. This is on the east side. And I don't know if you can see the still pictures of those two aircraft coming in. I think the one in the foreground is going to win. And it's all looking so good through my viewfinder, folks. Where is Frontier Airlines going this morning, and who's on the tail?
That's what I'm showing. Let me read this one. 2378, you can tell 15011 for the CRL motor down 656. Make 470. And cruise 100 And child envoy 3655 with 17 left hello. Envoy 35 Hey, clear to land 17 left. Thanks for that. 3566.
And good morning to everyone. If you're just tuning in, we're having a bit of internet difficulties this morning. The internet does not seem to want to accept our signal as we're transmitting it. And so we have been plagued with some stuttering video this morning. And for that, I apologize for all of you who've been kind of hanging in there with us. It generally does tend to get better, but it's lasts a little longer than it usually does. Here is American Eagle Flight 3561 coming in from Harlingen in far south Texas. It's an Embraer 175. And perhaps it won't be a series of still pictures for you on Runway DFW. Well, if we stick to a still picture, then we won't get much stuttering. Majorly Annoyed checks in. I see the internet is causing some issues for Walt this morning. Compared to what I had to watch on TV in 1977, this is perfect. 1977? How old are you, Majorly Annoyed? I won't ask. Ken G, it's like having a slideshow of airplanes. Hey, you know what? Why don't we turn lemons into lemonade? We can make Runway DFW into the only airport-based slideshow on the internet. We welcome Reginaldo Rodriguez de Cunha. Good morning from Brazil. We welcome you to Runway DFW, and sorry if our stream is not perfect this morning. Ross has a suggestion, a little duct tape and baling wire. Well, if you could see our setup, it kind of looks like that right now. Not so much baling wire, but a lot of wires. Danielle says this is actually like looking through a Viewmaster. Now, who remembers the Viewmaster? I do. That's funny. Majorly Annoyed, Runway DFW, still not as old as you. Oh, about to turn 52 next week. Well, happy birthday in advance. Yes, very few people are as old as me. But that's for another day. All right, we're still waiting for some really, big action this morning. Right? We missed these two 747s coming in. They came in before daybreak, so we wouldn't have been able to see them anyway, except pulling into the depot here. I think we'll be seeing this Japan Airlines flight if we can pick it out. There it is. You can see the tail there. That should be going out before we go off the air, unless there's some kind of delay. And we have an aircraft about to depart. Got American Airlines Flight 1435 going to LaGuardia. And not the usual. Usually the LaGuardia flights depart on the east side of the airport, so this is a little something extra for us this morning on Runway DFW. Our chat room has erupted into Viewmaster talk. Tell you what, we'll do a little reset here. Maybe that'll get us on the right track. Shall we give that a try? Wish us luck. Well, how are we doing now? Anybody left out there? If you are, and if this is working, we'll get to see Japan Airlines Flight 6713 on the way to Narita Airport in Tokyo. And I'm still seeing lag on my return feed. Well, folks, It's turned out to be such a nice morning for photography with the sun being obscured by the clouds back there, even reducing the glare that we normally have on a sunny day. And maybe I just need a really, really, really long cable to the nearest internet hub. Maybe those guys at UPS could throw me a line. They must have a good connection. Well, there goes the big Dreamliner off to Tokyo. We wish them a safe flight. Yeah, this doesn't look much better than it did before. now you can see it. Now the picture's coming in. Our clock is going. Well, our clock is kind of going. Oh my. This is really terrible. Well, there's a plane going through the picture. American Airlines Flight 2342 from San Antonio. Yeah. Yep. We're getting an acceptable wireless connection, but it's just not holding up. And we've had little kind of issues like this in the past where we've had some trouble making a connection or maintaining a connection, but it's usually always come back. And this morning it's not. DFW Aviation says, Walter, I get it's windy there, but you need a new camera, dude. The camera is fine. The issue seems to be the connection. And that's the one thing I don't have redundancy on. You know, I've got a spare computer, I've got a spare camera, and I've got spare cables, but I don't have a second connection to go to, unfortunately. And I really like this weather right now as far as spotting goes. And unfortunately, we're standing out in the middle of a wide open area, and there's we've been doing this for months now, and some weeks it works just fine, flawlessly almost, with the occasional hiccup. But this morning, we are not being so fortunate. So let's see, it's almost 8 o'clock. We're planning to be here till 9. I think I'll just... 4, 2, 3. I'm looking at the clock in the upper right-hand corner of the screen on a return feed to see how it stutters when there's no action in the picture and no other action in the picture. Merlin says, looks like the problem is out of your hands, Walt. Don't stress. Well, I do stress because I want you guys to see a good picture. We've got a lot of things to see here this morning. DFW Aviation says at the park there is no signal unless you got like 5G or pay for it. That's why I have problems videos. And yes, I do have 5G, and I do pay for it. And I know that I don't know if Verizon and AT&T have been able to turn on their 5G signals around airports. But because T-Mobile uses a different kind of 5G signal, a different frequency band, it is allowed to operate its 5G signal in the vicinity of airports, which is one nice thing about that. And we still have, Ken G saying we still have 109 people here on the stream, and I'm very heartened by that because we haven't been able to provide them much to watch this morning. Maybe we should have a little dance music. We're not going anywhere, we're just playing a little music until some planes come in and we can see if the signal is cleared up. So hang in there, folks. Runway DFW.
Live from Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport in Texas, this is Runway DFW in color. Now, here is your host, Waltz Werner.
Well, we're in our final hour here for this morning's broadcast. It's 8 a.m. Central Daylight Time, and we persevere. We're going to try. There you see in the center of the screen UPS 747, which is on the radar, and looks like it's, well, you know, if we pan to the right, we see another 747. And this one's just pushing out. So we're going to get to see that in all of its stuttering glory on Runway DFW. And you know, when we have a 747 in action, when we're about to see it go up, we have a special theme we play now. Yes, there's 747 about to take off from Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport. Wearing the colors of UPS, brown and gold and white, in all of its glory. So as long as it stands still, you've probably got a pretty good view of this. Once it starts moving, though, all bets are off here on Runway DFW this morning. Does sound kind of like military music. I tried to pick something that sounded kind of royal and grand. Well, here comes another UPS flight coming in from Austin. This is a 757 from Austin, Texas. Really more than a series of stills for you. How many frames per second can we get? Ooh, that's not looking very good on my return feed. It's like postcards from DFW. Danielle said the music sounds like it's from some obscure 1970s TV show. We've got a lot of obscure music here in our official Runway DFW library, and most of it from the 70s, I will confess. Kenji thought of Superman. Oh my goodness, if you're seeing what we're seeing, well, here, this flight is on the move now. This is off to Louisville. This came in just a couple of hours ago before we fired up here, maybe about 6:15. So it was a pretty quick turnaround for a big plane like that. Not a very long flight to Louisville, less than 2 hours, I think. And while we watch this taxiing, we'll swing around in a second to get you a series of still images of American Flight 102 coming in from Honolulu. It'll be a Dreamliner. Now we have Hogan's Heroes talk going on in the chat room. You never know what you're going to find in the Runway DFW chat room. Stephanie Williams is wondering if the 380, the A380, the super jumbo jet will ever come to DFW. Well, it's been here before. Emirates flew it for a while, and then Qantas flew it from Sydney for a couple of years prior to the pandemic, and then when the pandemic hit, they suspended those flights. Qantas just returned recently, earlier this year, with flights, but using a Dreamliner. However, don't be deterred, A38 fans, because on July 1st of this year, British Airways will be rolling out its A380 in service from London. So, and we'll be here for that, and hopefully we'll have all of our connectivity issues addressed by then. big engines are revving up. This plane has fallen off the radar. Let me tell you a little bit. I looked at these both of these 747s earlier, and you can see another UPS coming in behind this one, peeking out from behind. That's the one that came in from Austin. Both of these jets were relatively new, within the last 5 years or so. I know that UPS just took possession of its final 747 just a few days ago. And the last examples of this mighty bird will be delivered later this year to Atlas Air, another cargo carrier. There's some chatter in the chat room about the A340. That's currently the only four-engined aircraft, passenger aircraft, that we see at DFW. Lufthansa had been flying it late last year, and then they switched over to an Airbus. To a two-engine Airbus. I think an A330. And then the last time I saw Lufthansa here, they were back to the A340. So they have been flying the A340 into DFW in recent weeks. And in fact, they've gotten a couple more 340s out of mothballs. So they're going to lean on that for a time until they can replace it with more modern aircraft. But yeah, if you want to ride out on four engines right now, that's your only ticket, is as far as a passenger goes, the Lufthansa 340. This plane is waiting for incoming traffic to pass by. This will be a American Airlines Flight 2263 from Silao in Mexico. If you're just tuning in, thank you for hanging out with us here at Runway DFW. We've been having some transmission issues this morning, so if all you see is a series of still images, that's all that's going out. Yeah, I think this Queen of the Skies is now getting ready for its departure to Louisville, where UPS has a mega hub. This is a 3-year-old 747 dating to 2019, April of 2019. So happy birthday to this 747-8F.
Have a good night.
And if you are just joining us, yes, we do have very, very light. It is not your computer. It is not your phone. It is not your tablet. We have just a signal that won't keep up with what we're sending out. And yes, this is Runway DFW. I do see the comments. This is Runway DFW is trying to watch and having the same problem everybody else is. So I think what I'm going to do is shut it all down, and we will try again. I'll probably come up with another signal shortly. So if you want to watch for that, fine. Understand if you can't. But it will be experimental, and we'll see if I can get this thing working back as it should. But anyway, thank you for watching today. Let me put on our music this one. Yeah, that's going to do it for Runway DFW. This edition, we'll try to be back maybe tomorrow. We'll see. We'll see how the weather goes. And we will talk to you then. Happy contrails to you until we meet again on Runway DFW. Thank you for hanging out with us and for trying to put up with what we were sending out today. Well, can't win them all.